All right, let's get to having some fun. Back to, real life comic books and my pickups. So last week, somebody had bought I bought a bunch of baseball cards off this guy about 2+ years ago. And he called me up and says, hey, I got some more cards and I have some other things you might be interested in. And he comes in and we, negotiate. And I just want to show you what we picked up from him. First, we'll start the low end, right? We're going to start at the garbage, right? So Crazy Crow, #1, and it is in really, really great condition. There I think is one interior minor tear on a page. Other than that, it's a pretty good book. Then, this is one of the weirdest books I've ever seen. I didn't even know this existed. It is no numbered. It is the only one, not that in existence, but the only issue they ever printed. Awesome, man. We got Captain Marvel on the cover of a 10-cent 1940s book, like 1943, 44, of the Puppet Tunes. Captain Marvel introducing the world's most famous puppet heroes. They're new, they're fun, they're different. Captain Marvel's not in the book at all. It is just the Puppet Tunes. It's got some issues. We've got some a piece down here. It's there, but it's rolled up. So there's a minor tear on the cover. Definitely got some issues in filth. Some heavy dirt up on the top here. It's a weird book, man. I'm probably not going to get any offers on this book, so I might scan out the pages just to show you how absolutely weird these Puppet Tunes are. Then we step up a little bit, we get a little bondage cover. We get a little bit of having a little fun on Jungle Comics. Jungle Comics #18. This is a cool book. Great art. I forget who the cover artist was, but not a real key issue, but bondage cover, early to mid 40s. I think all the books were like in the 42 to 44 range in age. Then we're going to move on to another book, and actually price-wise, Jungle Comics and this one, Captain Marvel Adventures #5. Probably the Jungle comic may be worth more. I'm back and forth on the values. This is actually in really, really excellent condition for the cover, of a book from the 40s. We got a Nazi swastika plane that Captain Marvel's ripping apart. Perspective is not very... I don't know if Captain Marvel can grow and enlarge into a huge giant. I thought his powers were mostly like Superman. But if you look at him compared to the wing of the plane, he's standing and able to rip it's a little off. But, it was the 40s. But really good looking book. Really, really solid book. And it might edge out the Jungle comic because of its condition. Value-wise, that might be the thing that ticks the Marvel book up a little, the Captain Marvel book up a little bit. Now we want to move into a little bit of Superman. Superman 15. Yeah, 15. Look at that cover. Look at the colors. I nearly cried when I saw it. I got really emotional. I hadn't held a book this low in the Superman in a while. I had seen a number 10, but I never owned anything under 50, and now I own 15. Now, what's great about Superman number 15? It's a double cover. Oh, what do you say? It's a double cover. Yeah, double cover. See that? See that smile? Yeah. I don't know if I'll ever sell them though. So, maybe if we need to pay a bill, if things get tight, we might sell it. Otherwise, you can come look at it, come take selfies with it. Just look at the yellow behind Superman, the old S. It's just gorgeous. And if you think this cover looks good, the cover that's inside this cover is immaculate, is amazing. And probably some people would say, hey, just cut off the first cover and you'd probably get a 9, an 8.5, a 9. I'm not going to get it graded. The person who buys it from me is probably going to get it graded. Which is, I'm okay with that. Everybody gets to collect their own way. I mean, I talk very bad about CGC because I don't like their practices. I don't think they're necessary, but people, this is a free country. You can do what you want. Am I trying to convince people that it's not necessary? Yes. Yeah, just like people try to convince you that, Coke is better than Pepsi. which I happen to believe, but, you know, prove me wrong. Yeah, number 15. Yeah, I'm going on about it a lot. It does have a missing corner, the very bottom corner, bottom left corner, I guess, or bottom right corner as you're looking at it. And it has some discoloration, if you couldn't pick that up in the video. On the right-hand side, there's a line of discoloration, like a book was on top of it, and part of it got dirty. But, you know, it's Superman 15. Now, one that is in worse condition, detached cover. They added a staple on the interior under the cover, but it's Superman 8. You know, danger gasoline, big explosion, mobsters, just 7 away from number 1. It's probably not super valuable because of its condition, but to a real comic guy, it's fantastic. You're not seeing one every day, you're not holding one every day, and you're definitely not owning one every day. Unless you've got money like that, you know, and you can just go burn, you know, just go buy 8s and 9s of all this golden age goodness. Now let's get some more Nazis, right? Action Comics 44. Superman bending the howitzer. I think the German one wasn't a howitzer, that's the American one. But long range cannon. He's bending it. It's got the swastika. They're wearing the German helmets, World War II. Sadly, somebody put an S on it in pen, so it can't be, I don't think it can be erased or removed. I'm not doing anything to the book. People probably like, oh, you can do this, you can clean it, you can do this, you can, you know, it probably needs a pressing because the spine is rolled, showing the white on the front. Also, the last 3 books I showed you are in magazine bags and boards. You can see a lot of white in the sides because the Golden Age bags were just a little too tight. I didn't want to force a 1940s book into that bag. It was just too tight. So they probably have a little bit of bloat. Obviously a spine roll. But again, you know, I looked at them with gloves for all these books. All the pages were there. There was no cutouts. There was a few minor tears on certain pages, sadly. So another one, and by the way, I'm pretty sure none of these were actual key issues, except for maybe this and a super minor key. So Detective Comics, number 75, the first appearance of the Robber Baron. Batman and Robin on the cover, and the villain, whose first appearance it is. Black cover. We do have some spine stresses, but they are not color breaks. When you get to the staple, the cover has come away. It's not detached. It's torn at both ends of the staple, but it is still holding the paper that is still attached to part of the cover. Otherwise, it is in really, really excellent condition. Could use some cleaning and stuff like that, but like I said, I don't do any restoration to my books because I just enjoy them the way they are. The Action Comics, as well as the Detective Comics, very much like an anthology. There's a lot of stories on the inside. The Batman story, I think, is maybe 8 pages, maybe 10. I was really looking for defects when I was going through it, so I page counted, but I counted all the pages instead of like, oh, this story's 8 or 10. Fantastic. And last but not least, the 1930s run of Marvel Mystery Comics. Number 29, which is a book from the 40s. It is a bondage cover with a saw blade, with creepy guys in hoods. You know, it's funny, they look a little bit like the Klan, but then they have the German cross on their backs. So not actually a swastika, but a little innuendo. Very cool. I mean, I love the Marvel Mystery Comics run, the colors. This is what pulls a comic off the stands, right? Look at this cover. I mean, just so much going on. There's so many people on it. You know, the composition, is it the best composition? Is the perspective perfect? No, but it's exciting. It's fantastic. Yeah, so that's our pickups from last week. You know, I bought a bunch of other comics, but they're run-of-the-mill regular stuff, you know, that people bring in all the time. This was out of the ordinary. It excited me, so I thought maybe you guys would enjoy it. You know what I say, keep reading comics, and thanks for watching.